Hey guys, it's Steph. Um, right now all you can see is the dog, not me, because I wanted to introduce you to the fuzzball who is playing with his tug. We gotta get him some more, we gotta get him some more toys. He is a Shiloh Shepherd, as I said before. He is not a full-blooded, he is not a German Shepherd. They're softer, easier to handle breed. He's really, really funny. He's really, really cute. Having a bit of a time adjusting because he came from the chaos of a 10 puppy litter to the relative peace and quiet of our house here. And, it's a bit of time for the little fuzzball to adjust. When he's done growing, he should weigh about 120 pounds. He'll be a big dog. You can tell his feet. But Kojack, come here. Come here, bud. Come here. No? Okay, we're tired again. Okay, so, and there we go. Oh man, he is freaking amazing. Anyway, yeah, he's gonna weigh 120 pounds. See, here's me. Hi. I want to talk a little bit about Disney. So they've cut back hours, and I think it was the Hollywood Reporter. Thank you, Anthony. That said that they were actually their attendance is getting beaten by Universal Studios in Orlando. They're not recalling any of the cast that they've put on furlough, and I'm looking at that as saying likely probably laid off a lot of those people. Still no word about layoffs at the studios. Want to talk a little bit about Doomcock's news about Disney basically forbidding now their employees, contract employees, from attacking fans and kind of taking a new lease out on life. They need money. There's a story going out that their executives are going to start getting their pre-COVID-19 paychecks. I've only seen that in one place, and that's not even a place. Yeah, well, Doomcock has usually been right. And a lot of these people who are giving him updates are people that basically spilled the beans on the rise of Skywalker. So, but anyway, so there's a story out there that the executives at Disney, the senior ones, are getting their pre-COVID-19 salaries back. I've only seen it one place, and it's not a well-known website. It's not a website that looks legit to me. I think it's called Disney News or some shit. Anyway, let me look. Okay, the dog's over there. Okay. I don't know what to think. Honestly, I don't think they could get away with that. They're going to have to start really doing something, and we'll see. So far, nothing about, nothing more about Lucasfilm or any of that stuff. So we'll kind of take that day by day. Nothing to contradict anything. I thought it was very interesting. I don't know if any of you guys noticed it, but Kennedy backpedaling on the stories and the lore that was part of Star Wars mythology going back to 25,000 years. He did? All right, in this latest video, because Clownfish TV didn't mention anything. They only mentioned the parks. They didn't mention the studios. Now I know for a fact that I'll have to look. I'll have to watch that again. But the only person I know for a fact that was furloughed from Lucasfilm was Pablo Hidalgo's wife. She basically said she was on the furlough train or some shit like that. And I saw that, so I was watching to see who else from Lucasfilm was. You know, I don't, a lot of those people, no, there isn't. It was only yesterday's. He's only doing, I think, Star Wars videos on Tuesdays. That's the habit, unless breaking news happens. Craig from Reviews for You basically says Kennedy isn't doing anything anymore. Her admittance that, my God, there was 25,000 years of lore in Star Wars mythology was sort of a backpedaling. And, you know, that basically is a mea culpa. All right. So, you know, we'll just kind of see where all that goes and what else is going on. No, he's not, but I do talk to him occasionally. I was bugging everybody with pictures of the dog, so he was laughing at one. You know, I got to admit, having a new puppy, you forget how not painful, but kind of tiring it is. Let's see. I slept on the floor with him. He was in his kennel upstairs. I pulled out some blankets and a pillow and made a nest for myself on the floor. And I can't do that. My neck. But he was crying all night long. Monday, we made it so I could sleep on the bed, and he still cried. It was like he was trying out for the local coyote chorus. Last night wasn't as bad. I'm not missing the puppy stage. He's an interesting cat, our Kojack. He's not like any other dog I think we've ever had. Gunner, our Malinois German Shepherd cross, was very straightforward. He was very much, even as a puppy. He was also really hard to handle from the get-go, from his 8-week-old stage to the day we had to get rid of him. He was just, this guy's not so hard. In fact, I wish I had a video of this. He got himself tangled in a wire that was hooked up to a piece of electronics on my kitchen island. He pulled it, it made a loud sound, it almost fell. He freaked out and literally locked himself in his downstairs kennel. He was so scared. He was like, Gunner probably would have tried to rip it apart. Buford would have tried to run between my legs to hide. This guy, he bolted. I laughed so hard. I've never seen a dog put himself in his kennel like that, especially when he hates it so much. Talk about singing the blues, but last night wasn't so bad. So I get up twice a night, sometimes 3 times if he's making too much noise. You know, you can tell. But he's doing good. He's, you know, not eating as much as I want him to, but the doctor said he's probably got some adjustments he's going through. He came from a litter of 10, and that's pretty much chaotic. So anyway, but let's talk more about Disney. So we got the fact the parks aren't doing very well. There's still the rumor that they're going to cut back to 5 days a week, which would probably be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I think the layoffs. Hey, Maze. I think the layoffs are still in the works. You know, Kennedy's mea culpa in that. Really, did any of you guys see that interview from the Wrap? She was like everywhere. I mean, it was like she was stoned and tweaking on acid at the same time. It was really weird. But yeah, she made a mea culpa, basically saying they need I mean, as far as I'm saying it, it was an admittance. George is back without her saying, yes, George is back. And we got that rumor that they want to do an animated Kylo Ren, Ben Swolo TV show. Why? I mean, this is a not very popular character. We know that they're not happy with the way the sequel trilogy was done. They want to kind of step away from it, get away from it, get rid of it. My guess is that that's just a rumor. But we've got that, and then of course, I haven't even really mentioned the Gina Carano. SJW is trying to cancel her for a meme of a guy with his hands across his, like, holding his hands in front of him at a rally, a brown shirt rally in 1930s Berlin, Germany, before World War II. The SJWs tried to cancel her for that. And it's really funny. I'm not even going to say, you know where I'm going to go with it. It's just, so she told him, basically, not so many words, to fuck off. Let's see, what else is new? There's nothing really new. Star Wars news, besides Jon Favreau's tons of interviews, what basically is quiet. There's a rumor out there that Project Luminous is going to retcon how hyperspace was discovered. Maze read the whole article. That's not what it says. So if someone's saying that's what it says, that's not what it says. Okay, I'm gonna say this. There are certain people out there that it could what they come up with could be way better than what we've ever seen before, and they'd still hate it because that's just the way these people are, and that's okay. They like what they like. Yeah, that's, you're right. Hey, Jenkins. Oh, thanks. Well, the funny thing is, we forgot the Boba Fett thing. Apparently, in the latest Boba Fett comic books, Boba Fett kills a woman. And she's pregnant. And the feminazis out there were screaming that there's a hashtag on Twitter, Star Wars hates women. They're shocked that Boba Fett is a villain. They're showing him, in my opinion, as ruthless as I thought the motherfucker was when I was watching The Empire Strikes Back. Okay? He's not even really human. Yes, Project Ludicrous. He's not really even human. He's a clone. So I'm like, his blood is probably green, for Christ's sakes. Who knows what? You know what I'm saying? This is you can make something like that soulless because, in my opinion, yeah, I think that they should. In fact, I see Boba Fett very much wanting to collect that bounty. Maze. If they brought Boba Fett back into The Mandalorian and being the moral opposite of Din Djarin, as Maze said, I think that would be really cool. I really do. But these women are freaked out about it, so they're like, Star Wars hates women. And it's like, no, Boba Fett's a villain. He's really not even a naturally created human. Oh yeah. And that's exactly what he is. He did. It's a retroactive abortion if you really think about it. So them being shocked about him killing a woman. Oh yeah, he could. And I still think Boba Fett should die in a gunfight with Han Solo. I do. That would be really fucking cool. In fact, I would tell Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to their faces that he should do that, because that would be a fitting end to him. Because if you look at the lore and the canon, they call it canon legends, Fett, had been in following Han all over the place, and he had a bounty out on Han once. He had a bounty on, I think he had two of them before The Empire Strikes Back. He went after Bria Theron and actually captured her on Cloud City. I think after Han won the Falcon and was gone. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Sky Talker. That would be really cool. I'm not really looking forward to the Ahsoka thing, but I don't really care for Ahsoka, and I can't stand the Mandalorian chick. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. But anyway, there's nothing really to talk about. I mean, yesterday, the whole SJW stuff, you can't. I tend to believe this, and Doomcock said it correctly. He said the changes he's heard that are being made were going to be made 7 years from now, but COVID-19 sped them up. Okay, you cannot treat fans like shit. Okay, Bo-Katan, I don't like her. I really don't like any of them. I don't like any of the I don't like her. I can't stand Sabine Wren. I find Star Wars Rebels characters to be very boring. The only Star Wars Rebels, he's still sleeping. The only Star Wars Rebels episodes that I liked were the Wolves in a Door and World Between Worlds, because you can see where you can bring a lot of elements of the Force into several different pieces of the Star Wars universe, and I think it expands it. And you don't necessarily want to change things, you want to expand it. And I think the problem all the fans have had, and I think Maze would agree with me, is that they didn't try to expand Star Wars. They tried to change it. And expanding is what George Lucas tried to do, and that, and that's a good way to do it, but you can't really change things and then expect fans to like it, especially if you ruin the characters. Okay, if you ruin characters they've loved, Han, Luke, Leia, and giving into a very small cadre of people who are very loud, who are bullies. You have some of those people working for you. And it sounds to me that the changes that Disney wants to make, which goes across the company, by the way, is going to kill any of that. I don't really see Jon Favreau, who's older than me by a year, so he is my contemporary. And again, what was Star Wars' greatest achievement? It unified people. Didn't matter if you were white, black, red, yellow, purple, chartreuse spots. If you were from Mars. It didn't matter if you were Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Taoist, Hindu, atheist, whatever. It didn't matter if you were an independent voter, Democrat, Republican, whatever. Star Wars was a piece of a unifying piece of culture. And to be honest, I think that they went and took it to take away the unity. They did it to divide people. And because look at what Sean King is doing in my home state right now, Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's basically threatening police officers. This guy has been a divisive prick. And I'll tell you, he's white. He's white. And that should scare the hell out of anybody. Okay? That bothers me a lot. He's white. And he's pretending to be black. They call him Telecom X for a reason. But they do it to divide people. Okay? And that is the thing that really pisses me off. George Lucas created a piece of mythos that was, yes, they do, that was unifying, that meant something maybe different, but it meant something to everybody. You're right, Sky Talker, divided we fall. And it is something that we have to remember and remind ourselves every day, okay? We have to remind ourselves all the time of it because it's very, it's very important. Mythology, I mean, if you look way back in the way back, let's jump in our way back machines and go to Greco-Roman. Yes, he is a piece of shit. Greco-Roman mythology. You had two completely different cultures. The Romans, who were probably, I'm going to use the mythology of Troy and Aeneas. They're probably descended from Trojans who fled Troy during the Trojan War, and the Greeks. But the Romans sort of adapted and adopted a Greek mythology. There was a unification there. Okay, they adopted Greek philosophy. Marcus Aurelius was a huge philosopher, Greek, and he followed Greek philosophy. He was a Stoic. That's Greek. Okay. When you start dividing that, when you start piecing it out, this is Greek, this is Rome. You start kind of not only dividing them even more so, instead of kind of meshing the two cultures together, because they're basically kind of from the same area of the Mediterranean, but you're dividing people within the societies. Okay, there you go. That's what the SJWs did and have done. And I think Disney, because they're getting their asses kicked right now. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. They didn't lose $4.7 billion. They probably lost a hell of a fuck of a lot more. Okay? If you believe that's all they lost in the last 2 quarters, 3 quarters, And their 4th quarter earnings report will be on October 6th, I think. It does? No, I'm not. You may have to keep coming in and out. Sometimes YouTube likes to do that. I'm not having trouble staying connected. But anyway, it's just going to be interesting. And I don't know what they would say about the stuff Midnight's Edge. Yeah, it is working. But I do have to say this. If this is all true, Midnight's Edge is going to come in and confirm something like this from a different angle. And then the guy from WaltDisneyWorldMagic.com will say something. And then our friend John will say something, and Craig will say something. And hey, Maze and I, there's a guy on Twitter who's a friend of Maze's, and he basically knows probably even more than maybe they do. And he's been saying, remember the 5th of September. 5th of September this year is a Saturday. So it'll be the 4th of September. But something, oh, thanks. But we just don't know. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be pretty interesting. I wish my tired boy would wake up again so you guys could actually see him. He's just, puppies sleep between 18 and 20 hours a day. But when he's awake, he's nuts. But he's also pretty laid back. He doesn't like chasing balls. He likes his tug. He destroyed his hedgehog yesterday, so we gotta get him some more squeaky toys. I want to get him a Kong and put some peanut butter in there, so it'll occupy him in his little kennel, because he jumps on me. I don't want him jumping. You got to remember, a bark box. What is that? I don't want him jumping on me for the simple reason he's going to weigh 120 pounds. Well, yeah, I mean, she had a black one, a pure black one, named Joy, who looked like a bear. He looked like a black bear. He was gorgeous. I'm like, can we take him home too? Rudy's like, no. I mean, who'd have thought I'd have a wolf cub in our house, but. Oh, really? I'll have to talk to Rudy about that. He'll probably say no. We go to PetSmart. I got to enroll him in classes somewhere. I don't want to take him out too soon. Oh, yeah, it would be. I mean, that dog was huge. She had another one. He was plush colored, and he wouldn't leave me alone. I was standing there with my hand at my hip. Also, I feel his nose. How they do that with their heads. He was trying to make me pet him. And Kojack's mommy, Coco, had a ball that was half deflated. And she'd run up to me and dare me with it. And then she'd run away and look at me like, come on. And there's a gate, and I wasn't about to get into that mess because there were 7 of them. It was a wolf pack. They're huge. So part of the reason why we got him is they're an easier version of the German Shepherd. They're not German Shepherds at all. And the idea of something that size looking at somebody who's trying to break into the house and barking his head off kind of makes me go. He's going to be intimidating SOB. He's met some of the neighbors. He's very, very sociable. He loves meeting people. Tail goes, we just got to teach him not to jump on people and to be polite and not be rude. And, it's going to be great. Like I said, he already knows how to put himself into jail when he does something wrong. I wish I had a video of that. You guys will laughed. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I am not kidding at all. I couldn't believe he did that. He took off running and ran right into his kennel, and the door slammed behind him, and he's looking at me like, and I told the vet, and he was laughing. But despite the fact that he is having a hard time adjusting, and his food intake isn't what it should be, he's a pretty happy boy. And, once he gets 3 months old, 4 months old, I'll be doing a lot more with him. I'll be taking him over to the park, over to the golf course, walking him around, meeting people, taking him to PetSmart. So anyway, but we got the Phantom Menace has a new new mascot. So yeah, I think it is too. I think the way your friend was talking, and from what Doomcock said, it's going to be Lucasfilm. I do. Kennedy basically, not in so many words, said that everything she's done is gone now in that interview, and there's really nothing that she can do about it. I mean, when you're told that you can stay and get your paycheck or leave, and this is it, from the guys that the investors, you're pretty much screwed. Okay. I'm really glad that Chapek actually brought them in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I think that if there's a zero tolerance policy, they make a big announcement, she's gone, and Lucasfilm is making big personnel changes, and fire Hidalgo, fire Christina Hidalgo, fire a bunch of those people. Hell, the shit that Hal Hickel has been saying on Twitter is in my opinion, termination. Exit. Go. His job should be terminated. You guys, and I know perfectly well that there are plenty of animators out there that could do his job better than he can without his bullshit. All right? They're hungrier, they're younger, and they want the cred. Yeah, I know, but still, he still works. Hey, Sakori. He still works for Disney, ultimately. That's who signs his paycheck. Thank you. He is a sleepy bedtime puppy right now. And if he woke up, I'd have to take him outside right away so he could go to the bathroom. Because if I don't, we have an accident. And we've already had 3, no more. I don't like that. Anyway, this is going to be interesting. What is it? What's the date? Let me see on my other phone. It is August 26th. We've got about a week, 10 days before we find out, if anything, what's going on. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be. I mean, Doomcock is pretty sure they're getting rid of the sequel trilogy. And I think if they are, they're probably going to have. I wouldn't doubt that we get the Solo twins with Anakin. Solo. And maybe Ben Skywalker or something similar to that. If they wanted to, all right, I think we can do that. I'm really hoping that, I'll just have to tuck in hubby and the puppy. And maybe I'll keep the puppy awake. And then, I was talking to somebody else. Somebody chimed in here. But anyway, what was I talking about again? Yeah, well, that's what I think is happening. But you got to remember, the people who did the books were as bad as anybody that actually worked in the company. Claudia Gray attacked fans. Justina Ireland did. Daniel Jose Older is a racist and a bigot. Then you've got Wendig. And I mean, if anybody's books should be decanonized, it's that son of a bitches. And yeah, Jen Heddle must go too. Yeah. In fact, if Bob Chapek had a Twitter account, I'd tell him that. Jen Heddle must go. So, I want to tell you guys. Do you guys remember I ordered that Bandai Figure Arts Han Solo? It's finally coming. I ordered it in April. And finally, my Count Dooku should be here. Still, no word of Kit Fisto. But anyway, this COVID-19 can stop now. It's not just the mail. It's all bullshit. You know, I mean, I couldn't go in with the vet today to see Buford Buford to go in with Kojack today because everyone has to wear a mask. You hand off your dog to a tech, and that's, you know, I honestly don't think they're going to get voting by mail. I think that's, and the way it's looking now, to me, I'm pretty sure that the Democrats are going to get their asses kicked this November. And they know it because they're losing their shit. Kenosha wouldn't be going on if they thought they were winning. And oh, by the way, get the hell out of my state. That's my home state. Get the fuck out now. Anyway. But anyway, I'm going to wake up the mutt and get him going. And I think Jay and I, Maze and John, hopefully John, maybe Craig will show up. We'll be live at the Boxing and Jedi's Tavern tonight. So if you guys want to stop by, hey, great. I think we're going live. And if we are, I'll be there. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good afternoon, and let's see what happens.